right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the final technical presentation of the day before we move on to the big panel discussion. The topic for this session is leveraging alternate data in BFSI industry. Our speaker is Mr. Souvik Chucky, Business Head, Indus Technologies. Indus Technologies is a full-stack software engineering solutions company with pioneering legacy spanning 25 years, over 500 clients, and 11,000 plus projects. Over the years, it has built industry recognition as an innovator and a strategic digital partner, championing the cause of human-centric and outcome-driven solution offerings. And Mr. Souvik drives the digital innovation for organizations in banking, financial services, insurance, and large enterprise sectors across 5 continents. He has pioneered innovative changes in Fortune 500 companies through unique digital products and redefined customer journeys. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Souvik Chucky. Can we please have him up on stage?
Thank you and good evening, everybody. It's a real pleasure for me to stand here and talk about a little bit more about something which we all have heard, but we are not very sure that what it's all about. So I only have 15 minutes time. I'll try to wrap up within 15 minutes. That's why I might need to skip some slides. And today we'll be talking about how we are leveraging alternate data in the BFSI industry. Before jumping into that, let us try to understand what exactly is alternate data is all about and why it is important. So basically, in India, we still have 30% of the population which is having less of credit score and credit penetration. But they are one of our area where banks and NBFCs do target them. But since we don't have enough credit information about there, it's important that there is some other way that we have to fetch the data and process it. To be very precise, as per the RBI guideline, if I'm not mistaken, nearly 50% of a bank branch need to be in a Suru market, which is semi-urban. And this is the market where you will find most of the challenges getting the SME or merchant or even for an individual loan to be processed purely on the CIBIL data, right? So this is where the entire alternate data things comes in. Let us try to understand what we do over here. We have the data which has been collated from different sources. These are primarily open sources. This has been segregated in 2 parts, user and places. Some of those sources are maybe email, information from the satellite, their credit, which we talked, the shopping behavior, what type of shipping which is happening there, with their PIN code address, their location, mobile application by we mean the SMSs, we mean the transaction, where they're going, how they're interacting, everything. When we talk about the people data, we will talk about a little bit of their affluency, their lifestyle, their spending capability, their income, their footfall, affluency. And when we talk about the place data, it's more about that, where they travel, how they go, which are the areas that we're talking, where they are going, their shopping, which is the society they are living in, which hospital they are visiting for their health inquiry, or maybe which hotel they're checking in. These are this kind of public data which are available, which can be used, and we can map and score a user pattern. For example, this is a typical workflow which we have been showing for a Sofitel BKC. If you can see this dashboard, it is going to show me the one particular location, and then it will also try to allow me the filter. Suppose I want to see what are the merchant types which is available on that particular location. I will be able to see that what are the different merchant which is plotted inside in a map, and it can show me. This is purely an alternate data on the business merchant we talk about. If I want to dig down a little bit more on that, suppose I want to see, for example, I want to give a loan to a garage, right? I want to also understand that if that garage, what are the alternate garage and what are the people of the ecosystem, or maybe something which is more into the line of automobile. So it will actually tell me which are the different other garages which is in that area, and number of footfalls also. These are all standard open source data, and they are taking it up. These are more in the line of places open source data. These are the average footfall and the footfall indexing with that particular area. If you see these grids, each of these grids are mapped with the legends that will give me a footpath benchmarking that how people are moving in which location. I'll give an use case. Suppose a bank want to open an ATM, or maybe an NBFC want to open a branch for customer servicing. This kind of data always help to take the right decision. This is again user persona behavior. This is a very interesting data point. Depending upon some user's mobile number, we can actually get the MAID ID of that particular person, and we can get some historical data point like where he has visited. I can see this sample data. This customer has visited Arrow stores, BlackBerry stores, State Bank of India, ICICI, and these data are consent is taken from the customers, and the information comes. So we are assuming that we are not going to do a violation of any privacy policy. The consent takes, and then from telco partners, we can get this kind of data, and then finally map it and do a scoring index. Some of the areas where alternate data can be leveraged, definitely we talked about ATM branch, fraud investigation and risk analysis. We are talking about increasing loan book size, that is cross-selling, credit underwriting, then definitely field force planning, that where I want my guys to be placed in, where they will be taking care of the business and improve my business. Customer acquisition, yes, that is of course, if I do not have a civil, what is the alternate data point where I can do customer acquisition and take it further. In respect to customer acquisition, in respect to customer acquisition, we can talk about like just as simple as CASA, credit card, loans, or maybe a digital wallet, or any buy now pay BNPL later. So this is some of the use cases where you can use and you can do customer acquisition. These are some of the problem statements that can be solved by this alternate data. So when we are not doing an alternate data, it's a staggered customer acquisition, uncertainty and lack of knowledge in the ground reality. So you don't know, definitely when you do not have, right at this moment, we are only focusing on CIBIL. We don't have any other information to validate that customer. It can be an opportunity loss, and it can be failure to assess and business potential. And when we talk about data-driven customer acquisition, we talk about the merchant density, we talk about the income class, the affluency, what that person is doing, where that person is going, what are the activity that person is doing, and definitely giving a proper use score, customer scoring. Then comes customer profiling, which is more in the line of fraud investigation, cross-selling, and under credit utilization. Suppose I want to increase his credit limit, or I want to cross-sell him some product or something. So when we are not using alternate data, some of the use case where we face a challenge is we do not have a credit history, because end of the day, there is nothing that you have there. Second is, we do not know the customer existence as well, because we don't know if that customer is still alive, or maybe that customer has already died and his son is actually applying on behalf of the customer. So those kind of tracking. Then we are not able to find the accuracy, and difficult to understand the loan appetite. Is the customer still need a loan? Should I offer him some upsell? Should I offer him some other product? That information is not coming. So when we are doing an alternate data, we are able to understand the customer expense behavior. We are able to understand. Suppose we know that the customer is going to a bar maybe very frequently, and his spending habit is very bad. Maybe that give us a rating, which is where I might not able to give him an additional loan offering. Okay. When we do accurate customer offering, we will get to know his lifestyle. We need to know the footfall that where he is doing. We'll need to know the business propensity and his income as well. So basically, this will help me to help the scorecard of the customer and take a right decision on behalf of the customer. We also talked about growth and strategy, resource planning. So it can be on a resource of your field force, or maybe you want to open a branch, or maybe you want to open an ATM machine. This is some of the use cases where we can think of. For example, resource planning. End of the day, we cannot do biased intel. That means we have taken some guessworks and we are planning a resource that we should open a ATM machine, or we should open a branch in this location. It has to be researched and backed up by data. Alternate data gives you that. This is what is not assumption driven. Then we have no quantitative backing. So this is something which is not there when you are not doing. Solution. We get a consumer insight. Suppose I want to open a retail store over there, I want to open an ATM. I have the background that what exactly my consumer. And when we have those such of digital channel of payment with UPIs and contactless payment which is coming in, it is more important that somebody was telling me today that we want to slow down our number of branches or number of ATMs, right? So we have been working on those areas where we are doing STP-based customer servicing, or ATMs are going on. So now if somebody want to open an ATM, it is very important that you should know that what is the location and what will the footfall for that ATM, so that at least I can bring the as basic as the rent and or maybe the other expenses to that. Some simple case studies. So basically, one of the customer who came to us saying that they have challenge in the lending business. They don't know whom to offer what because they are primarily operating in the pseudo market. They are not able to understand the loan appetite, unable to access the income of that particular customer. So basically, we tried to fetch that address, we took that alternate data and we processed it and we take it forward and we give it a decent thing where we are not saying that this system is going to be 100% doing a digital underwriting, but this system is an assisted digital underwriting which will give your underwriter an additional advantage that how that person. So instead of just looking at a loan application which gives you basic information, this will be much rich in nature and taking it further. Maybe I'll just skip one or two slides here because I can only see 5-minute time I have. These are some of the data points which we got from that customer's behavior, that where he goes, what are the footfalls, this was actually a retail customer, it's a SMA customer, not a retail customer. We are trying to give him a loan acquisition. Suppose somebody comes and say that I want to grow my retail business and I want a business loan. So this kind of data always help. So basically what we do, how we do it, right? So basically there are intels where we get this information and there are different data sources. There are more than 250 plus data sources. Out of that 250 data sources is being processed in 100 plus data parameters, out of which we fetch the data, we massage the data, and then finally that data gives under AI ML it gives you a solution. This is not a plug and play, but 90% of this are data driven and then probably it's being processed as per the business requirement you might have. A little bit quick, I have only 4 minutes, little bit talk about our company, what we do and how we do. We are in a 25-year-old young company working for last 25 years. We started in a global market. We never thought India can be a market in BFSI industry. We worked with many banks and insurance companies global. Till date, 70% of the organization revenue comes from global market. 30% comes from India. In India, we have around 800 people. We are located in all 5 metros. We are around, we have been a product engineering company for last 25 years, working in the BFSI industry with more than 25,000 of hours of solutions. We are a CMMI level 3, PCI DSS certified, we're an ISO certified company. We are an AWS and Azure partner. And some of the logos that we serve these are some of the logos which gives you some little bit of data about what we do with these people. Happy to take any questions and if you have any.
May I request Mr. Zulkarnain Kanjariwala, Head IT Applications, IDFC First Bank, to please present a memento as a token of our appreciation to Mr. Souvik Chakki, Business Head, Indus Technologies. Thank you so much.